Hey, girl. Hey. So at Taco Bell,
Yes. Yes. Let's get back to our Taco Bell conversation.
dear listeners, we were having a conversation before this. And I was like, I got to record this. This is comic gold because it's very important.
It is very important. The Mexican pizza is very important to a lot of us.
So my Taco Bell order will make you poop real fast. It is a bean burrito and 2 spicy potato tacos.
Oh my God.
Soft tacos. you have
That's
heard,
it's like a Mexican laxative, isn't it?
you have heard of people who like don't have regular digestion who get very upset when they eat a bean burrito because it makes them go to the bathroom, right? Because they don't really have fiber. Yeah, it's a thing, girl. It's a thing.
I didn't know that.
Yes. When the only fiber you're getting during the week is a bean burrito from Taco Damn Bell.
But there's almost no fibers.
Oh, God. They're so good, though. You just slap that fire sauce on them.
Have you seen they're starting all these new vegan-y kind of like putting in beans and a lot of new kinds of things lately, like a bean quesarito and stuff like that?
So Taco Bell's always been really good about that.
Oh.
Like they're advertising it now because you could have always like done anything with beans at Taco Bell.
Girl, I've always gotten the same 3 items.
Have you ever a soft taco supreme? Oh, I love a soft taco supreme. So, dear listeners, I have a mild story. I did something semi-wrong to my husband. So my husband's vegetarian. So he is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, pescatarian. He'll eat.
Okay. All right.
Well,
he likes some seafood, some fresh tilapia.
And no, nobody likes tilapia. And only and only if he's in the United States, because when you go to other countries, sometimes it's hard not to eat meat, right?
Okay.
Girl, we went to Taiwan. It's hard to not find to be vegetarian in Taiwan.
I would think Taiwan would be a very easy place to have seafood everywhere.
No, girl, no, it's beef and pork everywhere.
Really?
It's Chinese, yes. You're thinking Japanese.
Chinese
it's
pork.
much easier than Japan is in China.
Chinese
anyway,
pork.
So he had never ordered a soft taco supreme before. And I, being me, mispronouncing things, I always pronounce it, I would like a supreme. He told me that he was so embarrassed because he ordered it the way I said it. I was like, oh no. But dear listeners, a supreme just means it has sour cream on it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez. I would have loved to have been there when that happened.
Oh, I wasn't.
Wow.
Luckily, I was not. He was running through the drive-through and I comes home, and then I felt so bad because that is so embarrassing.
That is not embarrassing. We have done things that are actually
Look, girl,
embarrassing.
Some of us are not drag queens.
That's true. Sorry, I forgot. I was like, girl, I have had my pantyhose literally rolled down to my knees without even realizing it. So I've done some embarrassing things.
Girl, I had mine rolled down to my knees, realized it, and didn't care. Did you? Do you not remember how much I stripped in drag?
Yes.
That dress I had was nothing but aluminum foil.
Did you think I forgot? Did you?
It was just aluminum foil wrapped around me. I don't know why I thought it would stain anything.
I literally learned about body positivity from watching you do drag.
Oh, Lord.
Honestly, I learned by watching you do drag. Let's be honest.
God bless America.
Those bitches in that club were like, is worth the rest of her outfit? I'm like, that's her outfit.
So speaking of those bitches at that club, the last time I did drag was a memorial show.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Winnebago, R.I.P. And that's right, y'all. Winnebago.
That was the best name.
Fantastic. She used to carry, but do it to the song "I'm Not Ready to Make Nice," and she'd just walk out slowly into a kiddie pool, have a bucket of fake blood, dump it on herself, then play in the kiddie pool and go back out. It was anyway.
Those were the
days.
days.
Anyway, so I decided her favorite like pop star of all time. She had two, Stevie Nicks and Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. So I did Born This Way.
Okay.
Everybody else was doing very sad numbers. And I was like, this is her last show that she's ever going to see. Why are y'all doing all these tribute numbers to songs that she probably likes, but they aren't like feeling her soul?
How many people of color were in this show?
One.
They should have told all of them this is not how a homegoing service is supposed to go, because we don't even call them funeral services, we call them homegoing services.
You know what? And that one person didn't. Anyway, so they were like, well, what song are you gonna do? What song are you gonna do? I was like, I'm doing Born This Way. They're like, oh. Well, that's nice. That's nice. They came back. The first one made like $7 tip. Second one made like $10 tip. They're like, they ain't tipping that much out there. So they're like come back a little bit tips. So the tips were going to Winnie as charity.
Right.
Like,
there was part of that charity thing.
Yeah. So they're like, well, this isn't really making that much. We aren't really making that. The crowd's not really feeling it. I get out there, and I'm not kidding you. I had my bra on upside down at one point because I was readjusting something. Somehow it got flipped around. I don't know how that happened.
That's what happens when you don't have your drag puppy.
Isn't that true? So I got it readjusted right, and I was putting some fringe on. They're like, you got that fringe on backwards. I'm like, it looks good enough. And they're like, this is the way the drag here used to be. It did not used to be classy. It used to be white trash, blah, 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 blah. I got out on that stage in my little outfit doing Born This Way, marching around with a pride flag on the back of my dress. Made $150 damn. People were screaming. Everybody. Oh. And the moral of that story is always have fun in drag. Dear listeners,
if they knew what just happened,
this episode is cursed.
Mm-hmm.
I got the blue screen of death.
Yep.
My buffer was full and not in the way I like it. So you know what I think, Maim? You know what I think?
I think it's time we get into this episode.
This is season 1, episode 7. Lovers and Other Killers. Maim, we tried to do this once before, and we made it to page 2 of 12.
We're not stopping. We
are not stopping.
I don't care. I don't care if the buffer comes in. We're gonna just keep on talking until it's done.
And I'll just readjust it later. Thank you for more work, Maim.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So we're in a dark home. A dark home. Now keep in mind, I have not watched this in 4 weeks. So we're in a dark home.
Wait, you didn't rewatch it again?
No, why would I do that? I've got a pretty good memory.
Okay.
And my notes may or may not have gotten out of line. You'll have to correct me if they are. You won't know. It'll be fun. Did you watch it again?
Yes, actually I did.
Oh, well, good for you. You are actually, you understood the assignment. Just like
I'm a good student. That's gonna
just
be
like
good
those Facebook
student.
TikToks are telling me. There's a robbery.
There is a robbery.
There's an old woman who staggers in. She staggers in, and she staggers in. She's wearing some pearls, and she notices this music box has been opened. See, this isn't in my notes. I've got a good memory. She's like playing with the music box a little bit, fondling the music box, and death by pearls.
Yes. I mean, I can't think of a better way to go, really.
No. By fake pearls.
Oh my God. I had on a pair of pink fake pearls last week when I did my show. And they were super cheap. And by the time I finished the night, I had a pink ring around my neck.
You know what I used to like to wear as a necklace?
What?
I used to always go and buy cheap belts, like metal belts.
Oh.
Like my favorite necklace was a heart belt.
Look at you.
Yeah, and it would go like below my belly button, and I'd like wrap it in two around, have just all these hearts everywhere. Oh yeah.
Lord,
So
girl.
ladies of a certain size out there, if you happen to be the size of a 40-year-old fat man, you could use a belt for a necklace.
Oh, but only then.
But only.
Only
So
then.
now we're in Seattle's airport.
Yes. This is
And-
going to be, I'm very excited. So I think that Jessica, I think this is a good one just because of like the locale. You know, she's getting out of Maine again. You know, she's doing her thing.
She's never in Maine. So
she's gonna be in Maine for the next one.
Well, thank goodness. I haven't watched that one either. Don't ruin it for me, please.
I'm fine. I'm not fine.
God, I swear. So we see Jessica with an old friend. Wait, no, we don't see Jessica yet. We see what? There's a man waiting for Jessica, and then she goes up to meet him.
Yes.
And it's her old friend Edmund. Look, y'all. Struggle bus. Santa Claus the movie. We're getting it done in record time, okay?
Struggle bus.
Struggle bus. God. She's carrying a little Chinese baby as she comes off. And like she talks to the nun. She hands the baby back to the nuns and speaks fluent Chinese to them.
Fluent.
As Edmund goes, sayonara, and Jessica's like, they're Chinese, not Japanese.
And if I remember Whiteman from the 80s, he didn't really care.
No, not at all. I mean, case in point, reference Donald Trump.
Yep. There you go. Yep. He doesn't care.
Nope. So we find out Jessica is giving a talk.
Mm-hmm.
And Edmund is the dean of students in a university.
Do.
Yes, I know. And then we meet Amelia.
Oh my
God. She is Dr. Gerard's secretary.
Oh boy.
She may or may not love him a lot. Oh my God, I love you, Edmund. You're so high. You did that old man thing. I really like you.
Oh boy. This is gonna be a day.
Look, we're flying through it though, faster than we ever have before.
That's true, actually. It's true. Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Don't stop me now, man.
No, we're good.
It's like the end of that Santa Claus thing where I was ready to finish it. We finished that what should have been a 45-minute episode in 29 minutes.
Yep, no, we're good. You're good. I got you. We're good.
You got me?
Yes.
You got me, boo. I got you, boo.
I got you, boo.
And we got each other, boo.
Oh, Lord. Our poor listeners.
Oh, speaking of dear listeners, we have a Patreon.
Yes, we actually do, yes.
It's patreon.com/ you slay me pod.
Slay me.
Not you slay me pod, you slay me.
Just
throw us some bones. I throw in a link to our PayPal. If you want to throw us some money there, we thank you for your dear support. Anyway, we find out that Jess needs a secretary.
That's right.
And that Frank and Edmund, who is her old husband, used to be really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank always used to tell her that she picked the wrong one. Edmund says the same thing. So,
I know. That's a lot. I mean, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of like lost connections over the course of this show with a lot of older men. Just call it a hunch.
I mean, Angela Lansbury is one hot
gilf.
I was going to say pootie tank.
What? Both are applicable. They're both.
I mean, Mrs. Potts does it for me. Woo, baby.
Oh,
Tale as old as time, baby.
She did it for somebody, right? She has that little teacup.
That was her nephew.
Oh, that was her nephew?
That wasn't her son.
Oh. I don't.
Yeah,
Girl, I haven't watched that movie in so long. I don't remember. Oh, Jesus.
So now we're at a hotel at night.
Yes. Ooh, spooky, spooky.
And David Tolliver's at the door.
Yes.
Buff, sexy David Tolliver.
Ooh, sexy for the 80s, sexy for the 90s, not so much for the 2000s.
Not so much for today. The greatest hits of the 80s, 90s, and that's about it.
But it's so weird though, right? Because as we're watching it, there's that kid inside that's like, you knew that this guy was considered like peak hunk in the 80s.
Oh, you don't think he's hot in some of these scenes?
He's all right looking.
I guess he's not old enough for you.
That has nothing to do with it. Gosh darn it.
Maybe you need somebody a little more Edmund's age. Actually, what is Jessica's mumbly houseman's name?
Oh, Ethan?
Yeah, is that your type?
You better stop with that. You
want you something to eat?
Oh my God, I don't like you right now. I don't. Ew, no, don't do that. Don't do
okay, that. No, sorry. That means he's a killer. Ethan is not a killer. Ethan is not a killer. Unless it's killing your love.
Oh yeah, it's killing that booty tang. Killing that booty tang.
Okay, where we at in this? So David wants to be her secretary.
Yes.
And we find out that David can type.
Yes, very efficiently.
Jessica's like, I would feel more comfortable with a much older woman.
Yes.
And David wrote it all down in shorthand, and she's like, well, I guess that's okay. And as he's leaving, he throws some shade on her writing. And it's like, Jesus, David, way to treat your new employer right.
I know. Oh, you know what? I actually just looked up David Tolliver like from back then. Honestly, if David Tolliver then, based on this picture, appeared now and like he could be a TikTok star. Like those young people would be, they'd be into him. I just sent you a picture. They'd be into him.
Let me see what it looks like. Hopefully, ooh, girl.
Yeah, they'd be into him.
Already had mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'd be into him now. So even
for the 80s, he's got that little vein on his.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like he was like physically ahead of his time, technically.
So you know who he kind of looks like in that picture, but an uglier version of it. Did you ever see my favorite rom-com, Under the Tuscan Sun?
No.
You've never seen Under the Tuscan Sun with Diane Lane?
The answer is no.
Dear listeners,
jeez,
why has Maim not ever watched the Sandra Oh and Diane Lane?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really.
Under the Tuscan Sun.
I don't know.
I'm going to need to rectify that as soon as possible because it is the most white movie. But it's a very feel good movie. Like you just feel watching it, you're like, oh, this is beautiful.
Oh,
like it's like the scenes, like it's just Italy and the rolling hills and a bunch of hot guys.
I mean, you know how I am about. I've never been a romantic comedy kind of person.
I mean, maybe you'd like this one. Sandra Oh plays a lesbian.
Oh, I love some Sandra Oh though.
I know. God, David Tolliver, quit staring at me.
I am a Sandra Oh lesbian.
I only watched the first season of Killing Eve, so don't ruin it for me.
I haven't watched that yet because
You haven't watched Killing Eve?
Hold on.
The first season's so good.
Calm down.
Did you watch Hacks yet?
No.
So we're at the lecture. I'm ignoring
You're
you now.
just ignoring me now. You're like, I have don't think about you anymore.
To say is unimportant.
No, because I was going to, but Mr. Maim, I was trying to do it with him, and we never can find like the right time to do it, so I'm just going to do it on my own. So
That's fine. That's fine.
I made that decision when she won that Golden Globe the other night. I was like, I have to watch this.
Oh, because you watched the Golden Globes.
I didn't watch the Golden Globes. I read the Golden Globes.
As they were being poorly tweeted at the time.
I didn't even watch the live tweet. I just read it later. I was like, oh, okay. I like this.
Yeah.
I like doing it like this.
Yeah. You know what? They got rid of the one thing about the Golden Globes that made the Golden Globes good. Bribery. They actually changed their rules to get rid of bribery.
They did.
It's why would you do that? That's what made yes, the racism and all that part, but the most racist thing is those black people won't be bribed now.
Which ones?
The foreign.
The new ones that got included.
Yes,
of course, they got rid of the bribery as soon as they brought in the black voting members. Of course,
Where is their bank?
Of course, you did.
Yeah, Pia Zadora would like to have a word with you.
Pia Zadora is very concerned now about her comeback career.
So we are at a lecture that Jessica's giving. And I don't know if you noticed this, but in the background, as she's giving, as they're panning across all the students, and I even remember what this person looked like. They looked like a sheepdog. They had this hair. It was like a Kathy character. The way the hair was shaped.
Now I have to go rewatch it again.
Or maybe it's like a Dilbert. It's like the H.R. Dilbert woman.
That lady from Dilbert.
Yes. She's just sitting there, but it's like it's brown up top and blonde at the bottom.
Oh man.
Can't miss this. It is so bad. And she's sitting there like this. Dear listeners, I had my eyes bugged out just sort of staring at me.
What's wrong with you?
Acting.
Both your parts.
Thank you. We meet to Where's My Gold Globe? I can't do anything about it.
You can't do it. You can't bribe anybody.
I can't bribe anybody. I wouldn't know who to bribe anyway.
Somebody.
Oh my God, I've talked a lot the past few minutes. Let's keep this thing going, y'all. So we meet Todd Leary, who's with the English department. He thanks her.
Yes. Oh, Todd Leary.
And then in the background, there's a student waiting on him. A nice young.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A little pretty girl.
And he leaves with her. And then Jessica turns to Edmund and said, "Is that his wife?" And he's like, "Who are you talking about?" Never mind. Okay. Whew. And scene. And start scene.
I love it. I love that this particular broadcast is getting interspersed with replays of the actual moments as well. It's like you're like, we were gonna talk about it, be like, you know what? I'm actually gonna do some reenactments too, because why not? I've made time by speaking faster, so let's fill in that time. We're gonna get to that 45 minutes somehow.
We're at 20. No, this one usually goes around an hour.
Does it?
Yeah, this one usually goes close to an hour.
That's almost as long as
an episode. And the thing is, Baking Sugar, dear listeners, our Deciding Women podcast goes for about an hour. We talk for about an hour.
I think maybe we could figure out some way to tighten it. I don't know.
People, I mean, we have a few listeners.
We have thousands of downloads at this point, so somebody's enjoying this.
I still don't exactly know what that
means. It doesn't matter. We'll just keep saying thousands of downloads.
It's kind of like, COVID infections. What does that really mean? Like, yes, if everybody has it. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows where? Who goes there? Worst song from Rent. Anyway, we're back at the hotel.
You are slowly descending into madness, just FYI.
It's getting closer to 10, and that is my bedtime.
I know.
My CPAP is waiting on me. with its nice... Oh, God. Oh, God, I can't even.
I hate you so much.
Oh, my God, the first night. So I've gone through like 12 different kinds of masks already.
Really?
You have to figure out which one works for you. And I had this one I could not get fitted correctly. And like I fell asleep. It was fine when I fell asleep. I turned a little bit. This is when I first got it. And girl, it was like a hurricane was on my face. Just all this air. And like I'm swatting it at night, trying to fix it. Oh God. I emailed them the next day. I was like, is it normal for that much air to come out? And they're like, well, out of the valve. Yes. I'm like, no. This was the entire mask was like levitating over my face. Like spewing air at me. They didn't know how to handle me.
Bitch, it was repelled. It was repulsed by you.
It was repulsed.
What?
Now we're back at the hotel. Oh God. See, the baking sugar people don't get this because
then we get the Sunday. We're not the same on a Sunday afternoon.
Exactly. We're getting snow Sunday. Isn't that exciting?
Oh no, we're getting 70-degree weather. It's the same as all winter, really.
So Daniel's in the hotel.
Hey Daniel, how you doing?
And he's like, "Do you want to go to dinner with me? You pay."
Of course.
She's like, fine. So they go to dinner, and Daniel says he doesn't like girls his own age. He prefers a much more mature.
Literally.
Yes.
Like, Daniel doesn't just prefer a richer woman. Daniel has skipped mature and gone into the wise. like that's what he should. I prefer wise women. That would have made more sense because mature is like 30.
I prefer one of the 3 witches from Macebeth is what I prefer. Double toil and trouble, baby girl. So we're back at the hotel.
Yep.
And we find out that Daniel has a really nice car.
Mm-hmm. Like much nicer than any grad student should have.
Wait. Lieutenant Daniel shows up.
What?
He's black.
Yes. Hey, Mrs. Daniels.
He wants to bring Daniel in for questioning.
Oh no.
Allison Brevard's been killed.
Did Daniel know her?
Yes. We don't know how or why yet.
Ooh, I bet I know because Daniel likes the mature.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Allison Brevard was the woman from the beginning that we saw strangled, but we don't find that out for a hot second.
We don't find out her name. We don't find out.
Spoiler alert!
None of that information.
Bitch was killed with pearls. Anyway.
How many gays have died by a pearl necklace?
Oh, that is us. You know what a pearl necklace is? I don't know. You're innocent sometimes.
I do know that one.
Okay. Don't roll your eyes at me. I don't know what you know. I don't know what your big sisters taught you. No, that came out very wrong.
She didn't teach me nothing, girl. She didn't teach me nothing.
I don't know what your ex taught you.
Oh.
Or your ex's slave, or was he the slave? Anyway.
Let's not get into that. Let's just not get into that part of a conversation. Let's just not do that.
Oh, God. So, David is released from the police.
Yes.
He's being tailed on the way back to the hotel.
Oh, those cops, they're always on somebody's tail.
Yes, they are. So, the next day at breakfast, Jess is searching for the lieutenant. Like, yes. She went to the police office, he's not there. So she goes across the street to this little, like, luncheonette, finds him in there. She finds out that David got gifts and money from Allison Brevard.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Allison, what were you doing, girl?
Getting that David D. is what she was.
I mean,
do we ever see David's D in anything?
Oh, So, all right. So this is a fun fact. So, although neither one of us really had these entertainment sources when we were this age, shortly after his TV stint of like these kind of guest starring roles and everything, He actually is one of the people chiefly responsible for Skinamax.
Oh, mercy.
Like, he formed a production studio, and they essentially made, like, a lot of the movies that got sent over, like, in the early 90s, and he starred in a few of them.
What do you see his penis?
I never see any of them. I was just doing some research when I found all that out. Because it was like tearing at me. I was like, why does this guy look so familiar?
It was tearing at you.
Well, no, because like you see a person's face, not like that. It ain't like that. You see a person's, it's really not like that. You see a person's face and you can't really figure out why you know them. Because I was like, I don't know this guy from anything else. And so I went to go look through and I was like, oh my God. Like, he had all those stupid Skinamax movies. Really?
With that big cock.
Oh my God. Isn't it weird though when you think about it now? Like, what people used to think of as like the most like risque on television things is literally just like TV now.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just TV.
I don't know. Hold on here. There was that one Skinamax thing in that porn that we both had a copy of that we got from that person.
That wasn't a Skinamax. That was like a full on.
No, not that one. The one that with the dude who was completely clothed, but he was like jerking at the window.
Oh,
with the woman, and the woman on the other side was touching herself. You could see the woman. You couldn't see the guy.
I forgot all of that stuff.
You don't remember these things? I bet you I still have that video somewhere.
I forgot all that stuff back when I was your broker.
I didn't like these people.
I know that.
I still don't like these
people. I mean, that's why none of them were our friends at all.
No, I mean they were nice and
they were nice enough. I will say this: they weren't bullies, but they weren't really like
one friends. Of them was.
Well, a couple of them were bullies in that circle, but the ones that we got along with, they weren't particularly, but like they were fine with us.
One of them turned into a bully as he got older and turned into his reverend son. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Anyway, so we're at the hotel. Jessica notices that her papers are out of order in
her Jessica girl.
And David let himself in.
How? I'm sorry, that's very presumptuous on his part, is it not?
He just told the housekeeper that the housekeeper just let him in. And Jessica was like, No, David. No. Do not do that again, please. Do not do that again. Do not do that again.
Especially now that she knows how he operates.
Yes. So we find out at this point that David really wanted to explain himself to Jessica. We find out that Allison wrote him a check to pay for school because he was in it was the last payment for school, and they became very good friends.
Yeah, very good friends.
Well, not like that apparently. Not like that apparently. Excuse me, I've turned down my heat. It's a little bit warm, and I've got a nest, so give me just a second.
No,
Jessica!
Like, what's happening? I was like, you're so distracted. What are you distracted by right now?
Look, I'm old. Jessica kicks David out as do not let yourself in again, David.
And David was probably like not even you can't let me in for burp, 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 burp.
Well, she doesn't want burp, 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 burp.
I know, because she's got Edmund on the mind now.
No, she does not.
I think she secretly has a thing for him.
I don't think so, but we'll get to that at the end of this episode. Why are we talking about that now? So Edmund and Jessica have a talk.
Yes.
And Edmund thinks David is guilty. Jessica does not. And we're back in the office, and David's saying he's not guilty. So Jessica's like, what the hell are these words?
Oh my God.
What shish words? He's a con man.
Right.
But he's not, he's definitely not and maybe a liar, but definitely not a killer. He can still work for me.
Which I thought was a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, like, I mean, look, con men need to get some work done, yo.
No, it's true. Actually, con men are. I mean, I come from con men.
I would have locked up my the novel I was working on so he couldn't steal it. That's what I would be afraid of.
But isn't he helping her like write it? He's doing like her dictation, right, or something?
Exactly. Is he doing her
dictation? Ooh.
Chicken wow, brown chicken, brown cow. So we're at the hotel, and a girl calls Jess. It's like, meet me at the abandoned warehouse.
Because
the dogs.
Right, because that's a thing. That's a thing that we do.
And then you pan out and you learn that this girl's name is Lila.
Yes.
She's married to Jack. They're getting a divorce. Jack doesn't want one. And Jack's an asshole.
Jack is like such a jerk.
So now we're back. Oh, and bring it all back around. Lila is the girl the English professor was waiting.
That's right. She was that the hot co-ed.
She's not Kelly Kapowski hot.
She's not Kelly Kapowski hot, actually.
Like, at this time of age, everybody would be like.
She's like Belinda Carlisle hot at that point. She's of that.
Belinda fucking Carlisle. Why you gotta bring her back up after we have to listen to the It's Christmas time?
She has a lot more songs besides that.
What is her main song?
Belinda Carlisle?
Yeah, do it. Like,
isn't it mad about you, right? I'm mad about you. You're mad about me, babe. That one. That was like her big '80s song.
I don't know.
I know we were just children, so it's and you weren't technically. That was back when we were like Magic 96.1.
I think we're alone now.
That's Tiffany.
There doesn't seem to be anyone else. Same time frame. I know that one. I don't know any Belinda Carlisle.
Okay, chill out. But remember, Belinda Carlisle wasn't appealing to our demographic. Tiffany was appealing to our demographic.
I know some Melissa Manchester.
Girl, that's because you're homosexual. That's because you're homosexual.
Don't cry.
Oh, yeah. We all know that one, girl. Everybody screamed that in the shower once or twice.
Girl, wow, they're masturbating. So we're at the
what? No. Why do you keep bringing up masturbation today? What's happening?
Ready to take care of a few things.
Something's wrong with you right now.
So we're at the warehouse, and a car drives off as Jessica walks in. She looks around. Lila's dead.
No!
And David was the prime suspect.
David just cannot keep his hands out of all of these pies.
I know. He never left. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. But I have a note that says he never left, ! But
is that his alibi? That must be his alibi. Right? Was that his alibi for why he didn't kill her? Something like that.
Hold on here. So we're at the interview, and we find out that David has been seeing Lila.
Yes.
And Lila was with him the entire night of that what's her doodle old woman was killed.
The old lady. But now Lila's dead, so
yes. And Jack is crazy. It was probably Jack that killed him. Next page. So hold on, which one's okay, good. So we got hopefully we're in the right order. Wait, am I missing a page?
Oh Lord have mercy.
Do we go to the office immediately after this?
I think that's when we go to I think that's the office part, because that's when the secretary starts getting involved, right?
Okay, so now we're at the office.
Yeah.
And Amelia's annoyed. She's like, hey, how you doing, Jess? And Jessica's like, no, I don't want Edmund, but you should tell him I'm on your side. You should tell him that you want to do that D. Yes, you do. Don't lie to me, Amelia. You want that old wrinkly D in you. So, Jessica gives her the advice of just tell him how you feel.
Because, that works, I guess.
Never, unless you know it could just make things real complicated.
Yes.
Especially when you're a secretary. Unless you're the secretary in the Maggie Gyllenhaal sort of way, and then it's kind of okay.
I guess. I don't know. Man, that was a weird movie.
I never saw it. I do love James Spader, but I do not want to see him any kind of sexy. So now we're at the swim club.
Yes. Ooh, the swim club.
Tight Speedo on Jack. Like, you could see little Jack in there.
I literally was like, I miss the 80s.
Like, this would not have been shown today. There was too much penis in that.
No, they wouldn't have actually shown it, because back then, like, you weren't even technically supposed to even be paying attention to it, so it wasn't a big deal because that's just how swimmers looked.
Yeah.
But now, oof.
So Jack is like, no, I'm over her. Yes, I got angry, but I'm over her. And Lila and David, they were just friends. But it could have been Professor Lowry. Shouldn't you be going to that lecture right now?
What? Oh my God, I'm late.
So she runs as fast as she can in her velour.
Thank goodness that she jogs every day.
Every day. And she starts giving the lecture. And she's like, today we're going to do something different.
Yes.
I want you to put yourselves in the shoes of the
murderer.
And then she starts asking questions about things, and she's like, goes discreetly grills Lowry. Is like, okay,
discreetly.
Maybe not discreetly, but like,
it's like, girl, if
what
that's
would your
discreet,
alibi be? And what would your alibi be? But what would your alibi be? And he's like getting uncomfortable and
not suspicious at all.
It wasn't me, Jessica. Do you want it to be me, Jessica?
It can be me, Jessica. It can be me. We'll just say it.
So we're at the hotel, and there's a note on the fridge. Jess, call from Professor Lowry. Urgent. Confidential. Meet him at the office.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, Jess goes to the office. It's dark. Real dark.
So dark.
She starts looking around. She's heading up the stairs. Professor Lowry's. She's pushing down the stairs. David is there to rescue her.
Oh, but did he also push her?
Well,
we don't know.
We don't know. So Jess is released from the hospital. It's all fine.
Yeah,
right?
She was fine. I fell down a flight of stairs. I'm fine. It's fine.
Like they spent literally 2 seconds on this old woman getting her hip replaced.
Osteoporosis, what's that? Right?
She must use Pearl Cream.
Pearl Cream and Boniva.
Oh, goodness. So, we find out that David may have done it because Lila was with Edmund the night of Allison's death.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Exactly. It's all, I mean...
What?
Don't like it.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's getting real now.
Uh-huh. So we also find out at breakfast that David admitted having Lila call her to set up the little meeting.
Yep.
So that she could cover for David, right? To set up an alibi for David.
Literally. Good gracious. This episode is a lot of like people being persuaded to do things for other people kind of episode.
And we find out that Edmund started having an affair with Lila, meeting at the Lumberjack Inn.
Mm-hmm.
And they were together on the night of the murder, and a dark blue car nearly ran them off the road.
See that mess? Mm-hmm.
See that mess. That, dear listeners, has been this episode of You Slay Me.
We have a new title for the series.
Anyway,
oh
God, what I'm gonna have to remember that. That was at the 45-minute mark. I need to get that exact quote on a shirt. I need to start writing these down as they happen.
You should have a post-it beside the computer every time we do that.
Oh, God, where are we at? So we're back at school.
Yes.
Jess approaches Lowry, and he made up with his wife. And Jessica's like, well, there's a blue sedan outside. Is it yours?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, I drive a yellow station wagon.
Oh.
So it was not Lowry. And his seasoning.
How do we not make that joke yet until just now? When I was watching it, that was like the first thing I thought about.
I know. We probably did last time when we talked about the Lowry's.
Oh, yeah,
did I talk to you about the Lowry's chicken like restaurant already?
Yes. That's what happened. We had talked about it before it crashed and burned.
The first time. Last time for the second time.
The first time I ever saw your face.
So we're back at campus.
Yes.
The lieutenant tells Jessica David was released. Allison's murder was actually just a murder. Like it was just a random person who was out of jail who was robbing her, got scared, and killed her by pearls.
Yes.
So we're back at the hotel, and David is there. And I have written right here, pecs. He's wearing, if I remember correctly, a bright pink shirt.
Yes.
They have the lighting on him to
Yeah.
make him look intimidating.
Yeah.
And very hot. Like,
I mean,
you can see his pecs, you can see his arms.
because he's of that build from back then that he is the man that polo shirts were designed for. Like literally, like that type of man. That's the frame. Whenever you see other people wear polo shirts, you're like, it doesn't look that good. It's because polos were designed for very athletic swimmers build white men.
Yep. So David asks for forgiveness. Jessica's very uncomfortable. And then he's like, David says, the person who called, I left that note because the person who called. And Jessica was like, well, was it a man? He's like, I don't remember.
Curious.
Jess figures it out.
Click.
She got it. So Jess goes to the office and she talks to Amelia. David's getting ready to be arrested. Oh, I always liked him. He's such a good boy. There's no way you could possibly do this. I don't know what you're talking about. Blah, blah, blah. And Amelia, the lumberjack inn. I have no idea what you're talking about. And you have a blue sedan. And everybody else does too. And you handle his money, so you know everything. What? So we find out I pushed that bitch down the stairs. and I killed him because she was sleeping with him. And Edmund hears it all and was like, I didn't even know you loved me.
You old woman, you.
You old cow.
How dare you profess love for me
dare you?
when I have co-eds on my dick?
How dare you murder my co-ed? Like, how dare you? That was the third best sex I've had in a decade.
Now I have to find another co-ed
to be the fourth best sex I've had in a decade. So we're at the airport.
Oh.
And David, because it's the 80s, it's allowed pass ticketing and into the actual.
Yes, girl, right? I was like, oh my gosh, pre 9/11.
Yes.
It was wild times.
Yes. And like David professes his love.
Like he really goes in this time.
And like hands her teddy bear.
Yeah.
And he's like, the only thing I'm guilty of is caring. And Jess is like,
if David actually sounded like that, he would be a lot less hot.
He would be a homosexual. Jessica, I just cared a lot.
The only thing I'm guilty of is caring too much.
Jess, Jesus Christ, I want Amelia to live. I wanted Jack to die. I don't know. But he looks real good in that speedo.
No, he does. He does. Yeah, he actually did. Yeah, I thought so too.
That's what I thought. Anyway, so Jess is like, you know what? You may end up being a character in our books. David's like, will I be a victim, a suspect, or a killer? Jessica, I'm not sure yet. And then it backs off in this like David weird stare look.
Because that's the thing that makes him not attractive. He has that very weird stare that creeps you out.
Yeah.
And that's not like character stuff. That's the man. That guy has a very creepy stare. I really hope that our listeners at least listen to one episode of Baking Sugar so that they get you doing that.
Oh my God, man. We made it in 51 minutes so
we
far.
Did. Look at that. Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
And it's not even 9 yet.
Oh my God, you'll have time for hot cocoa before you go to bed.
Yeah, I can't drink that. That's too much sugar. Too close.
You'll have time for some unsweet tea. Okay, there you go.
Tea. Maybe some cheese. What? I'm like... German. I can eat lactose. As they say, don't get it twisted, girl.
I mean, I'm not. It just caught me off guard. It was just the way you it's got me off guard.
So do you think Jess wanted Edmund?
I think that, I think that Jess would have been open to a relationship with Edmund, but Edmund, I think, has gotten a taste for co-ed meat, and I don't think
I completely disagree. I do not think she liked him at all.
Oh.
Like I got he was being put in the friend corner real fast, real hard.
That's true, actually. Like I did think it was cool though. I mean, I know that you're not really like a super old TV kind of person, but I did think
I like some old TV.
Not all old TV, but like I did think it was cool though.
I watched Dragnet.
Edmund and the detective were old castmates on Mission Impossible.
Oh, yes,
so I thought that was really cool because like that's kind of like one thing that you'll probably hear a lot on this show is like us talking about the tendrils of like old actors that used to be big, because sometimes these episodes will treat people like they're a big deal and you as the listeners might not be sure why. That's the thing.
It's like an episode of The Nanny where random people come on and the crowd lose their mind clapping. You're like, who is this? And you Google it. They were on like a soap opera in the mid-90s. You're like, I don't. This
or the mid-70s, girl.
Or the mid-70s. God.
I mean, that's the thing. That's the cool thing about 80s stuff, though, is like it was literally like everybody from the 60s and 70s. Yep. They just kept popping up, and you're like, oh, I think this is a big deal.
So, Maim, we forgot to tell the dear listeners in our intro, because it kept screwing up.
Yes.
That we have another podcast coming out.
I hate when you do that. I don't know why. Every time you do that to words, I don't know. It's too much for me every time. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Every time you do a new one, it just catches me off guard. Oh.
Anyway, it's called Where's Dorothy?
Where's Dorothy?
And we're going to start watching The Golden Palace, which is the sequel to The Golden Girls.
Is it a sequel? I call it more of a spinoff.
It just started this week. It is a sequel because Blanche takes her money and buys the Golden Palace.
I know.
And Dorothy, if I remember correctly, was even in the first episode.
Yeah, because she's like doing her goodbyes.
Yes. Dear listeners,
it was probably in her contract, I bet.
It's also got Cheech Marin. It's also got Don Cheadle.
It has a lot of issues.
It does. Dear listeners, it's not a good show, but why don't you watch it with us?
Yes. It's going to be on Hulu.
It's only 24 episodes. I mean, it's only 12 hours of your life you'll never get back.
Yep.
Think about the other things you binge. Plus, you get to listen to an hour of us talking about it. So that's 36 hours of your life you'll never get back.
I mean,
really?
Maybe it might be 45 minutes. Maybe.
But probably not. Actually, maybe because we're going to record it directly after baking sugar.
Yes, and we're going to be exhausted.
I mean, we already are.
Yes, but that's true.
So, Maim, as we reach minute 56:32,
yes,
why don't you tell these dear listeners where the hell they can find you?
Totes. So you can find me on social media at Auntie at Auntie.Maim. That's MAIM. Because I have murderous intentions. You can find me on what is it? I have the same candle on both, so whatever. Also, if I'm lazy, if you just happen to be on vacation in sunny South Florida, you can catch me every other weekend at Villain Theater in Miami, and every Thursday night I host amazing colossal karaoke at a bar in Miami Beach called Kill Your Idol. How about you, Mims?
Mims?
I was trying to do that thing you do, but I'm not as good at it.
It doesn't work when you're talking about somebody's name. Like, what would I call you?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Anyway, it could work. I will train you. I will train you.
Thank you, Obi-Wan. Thank you.
Oh, you just called me Ewan McGregor, and I am living for it.
I mean,
Anyway.
Close enough.
Yeah, same age. Where am I at with this? Oh, I'm the Divine Miss Mims. You can find me at Divine Miss Mims on Twitter. You can find this podcast at You Slay Me Pod on Twitter. And dear friends, patriots, listeners, no. Dear listeners, we also have a Patreon. That's where that was going. You can find it at You Slay Me on Patreon. I think we've talked enough. What do you think, Maim?
I think that my epiglottis is a bit swollen, so I would agree.
Jesus Christ, just say goodnight, Maim.
Good night, Maim.
Bye, y'all.